Welcome back to A2 the show. We have Tarek Ziad with us today, guys. Can we have a round of applause, please? Ali? Clap, clap, Ali, clap. Good.
Yeah, don't
So,
do me.
go ahead, Tarek. To be honest, I feel like you have a better introduction of yourself than I would. So I'm just
My
gonna
heart
delegate
goes to
this to you.
you.
Wow, wow. Thank you. Shukran, shukran. Hi. It's nice to be able to say Tarek. I feel like, I run around Los Angeles, New York, America at large, being like, "Hi, my name is Tarek." For like the first part of my life, I was going by Tarek, which is also like crazy. So
Yeah.
to just be like, "Yeah, hi, I'm Tarek," it's very nice. But
You're
yeah,
welcome.
thank
You
you.
feel just you feel comfortable, and that's a
Yeah,
good sign.
yeah, it's nice. It's
Mhm.
nice. But
You're
yeah,
The sounds of home, kind of.
at home.
Sure. That's
Um,
why. That's why. Sorry.
no, it's fine. Yeah, please let me do my introduction. It's really important. How are the people going to know what I do?
Exactly. So, who are you and what do you do?
Yeah,
That's the question.
I'm an actor and a writer and a comedian. I'm a guy. I eat breakfast sometimes. I love to go on walks. I've lived in LA for about a year and a half now. Before that, I was living in New York. Before that, I was living in Connecticut because I
Hmm.
went to Yale for my degree, which I've been talking about more lately because I realize that I come off as kind of stupid otherwise. Like, no, I'm actually really smart. I just don't know how to talk. I grew up in Florida. Both of my parents are from Morocco. My family is Amazigh, so representation. We're not actually Arab.
What?
Um,
Wait, what is an Amazigh? What is
Oh,
that?
Amazigh is the indigenous people of the region.
Wow,
Shluch is another way of saying for like Morocco specifically is like ethnic groups.
interesting.
But it's the indigenous people of North Africa, like spanning all the way down into like parts of Mali through the Sahara, all the way east to like I don't think as far as Egypt, maybe just stopping before Egypt. But yeah, we lived there before the Arabs, before the Spanish. A lot of Western cultures are not really well educated on the history of colonialism outside of anywhere
What
besides
is that?
country.
Colonialism? What is that?
Right. It's a really good question. It's a really good question. Unfortunately, I'm not actually able to for free. I have to charge for that at this point in my life.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh,
Well, you're
oh,
on a
damn, man.
podcast. Now's the time, bro. Now's the time. If
Yeah,
you have
also
Yeah.
knowledge,
AP
if you
World
have.
History. Okay, well, yeah. So colonialism is when someone sees something else that they want, uh, and they realize that somebody else already has it.
Hmm.
So what they do is they go over there and they say, "Hey, I love what you're doing here. I think it's really awesome. I think you yourself deserve to die." So you kick them to the curb, and then you get to have whatever you want. White people really love that. They got really, really good at it. Somewhere around insert year here. I'm not very, even though I tutor AP World. Um, and yeah, that's your lesson.
You really did go to Yale. Wow.
I did. Yeah, yeah. And that was mostly because of DEI. Uh,
Hmm.
that was mostly what's that called? What's the thing where they let
Because
in stupid people of color? What's that called?
you're African American.
Yeah, yes. So half of my so
It's like a
yeah,
diversity hire. Is that what you mean? Yes,
called
that's the word.
something admissions. Affirmative action. Affirmative action.
I love
Yes.
action movies.
Yeah, it was no, I got a bunch of affirmative action. It was awesome because my family was Moroccan immigrants, so we were like African. My mom's side of the family is black, so I'm also African American.
Oh
I
wow.
talked about being Muslim. I don't think I talked about being gay, but I'm sure they could tell. Uh,
God.
lots of diversity points there.
A
Yeah.
gay Muslim, that sounds like a bit of an oxymoron.
A lot of people are saying this, but you know, the way
Is it
that it
possible?
works, it's possible. It's possible, but again, that's one of those things that you have to pay me to explain. Possible. It is. I spoke to someone about
Uh, what is this? Like, do we have to charge you like on an hourly rate and stuff? What's going on? I didn't know this was a pay. I know you said actor and stuff, but this is not the paid gig. Like, what's going on?
I come on your podcast as a Ponzi scheme to try to charge you money.
Bro, if I understand if there was like a live stream and stuff with like people are putting in money, yeah, we can take the money from them. But like you're taking it from us, man. Like, what's going on?
Just passing the same dollar back and forth.
Yeah, we
yeah,
just give you the platform, man.
you can be queer Muslim. You know, I think it's really interesting. I identify personally as a Quranist. I don't really follow hadiths. Just because for me, for my specific interpretation of the religion, Quran, Word of God, that makes sense to me. I love that, you know, dictated that, wrote it down. That's awesome. Hadiths, that seems to me to be more like, well, I heard that this guy said, that this guy said, that the Prophet ﷺ did this, and we're going to write that down and you should do it too. And there's just too many degrees of separation for me for that. So I feel like everything I need to know about my life is in the Quran. And honestly, a lot of the scripture used for more like discriminatory and prejudicial beliefs and systems comes from hadiths. So that's just sort of how I let it rock. But a lot of people can do it differently, and that's completely valid.
Tada's beliefs do not represent the beliefs of me. Sorry, Said, I'm protecting us right now.
It's very important to say that, yeah, and I'll say that too.
Tada's beliefs has
Don't agree with me, and that is okay.
I still need to go back. I need to go back to. I need to be able to go to back. Oh, no, fuck! I can't even speak anymore. I need to be able to go back to Saudi Arabia, bro. Just saying. But
Gosh, that's so cool. I think my mom just went. I think my mom just went. Good for her.
Saudi
how was
or Morocco?
how's the reception?
I haven't followed up. I should though. It's to reach out to find out.
So
but yeah.
So what do you look for in a roommate?
That's so funny.
Said looking for an apartment.
I might need to move to the US soon. I don't know. Who knows? I need to ask the good questions, you know.
Okay, what do I look for in a roommate? First of all, like normal, not crazy. I've lived with crazy people on accident. And one time on purpose, and that was not, I should have known better.
What's a crazy situation? Like, just you don't have to be specific, but just the crazy situation.
I'll give you specifics. As you want.
There's like UV blacklight involved and stuff like that.
I once lived with a flat earther who was also an anti-vaxxer, who also was dating ASAP Rocky's photographer for a few years, and who is also like a heels. This is a lot of identifying. But I know.
I don't know who this person is though. So
it was crazy. I've never lived. When I moved in. This is in New York. When I moved in, she told me that we needed to buy at least 10 gallons of water to have at all times, and that I should put all my money in gold bars. And that was day one. And then she went on.
He's not too wrong about the gold, you know.
No, that's
gold
bad advice, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
I was just like,
all your money. And then
she was like, she would introduce herself as saying that she was like born during Mercury retrograde, and so that's why she like talks with a stutter. And it's, you know, completely fine to have a stutter, but Mercury retrograde. You think Mercury retrograde caused that? Like,
yeah. She sounds like she was on ayahuasca or DMT or something like that.
I think that would do her some good, but I think she was actually totally sober, which was the craziest. She was this Dominican woman from Jersey. It was so strange. But that's New York. I was so young then. You know, it's like you
So
live
the
in
crazy part about this person is that she believed that she has a stutter because of Mercury retrograde.
No, honestly, the craziest part is that she believed in astrology and horoscopes so deeply that she would introduce herself to you as that. Like, horoscopes, mind you, are based on the rotation of the sun, the moon, and the stars. The rotation of the sun, the moon, and the stars.
Okay.
She was a flat earther. How do you make that make sense? She believed in horoscopes so much, and she also believed that the earth was flat. Where's
So the
the
rotation of the Earth is just like a flat plate or something?
I,
What's
I,
so if you
I,
throw like, is that how the Earth goes around? You just like the way I'm picturing it is if you throw a plate, that's what it looks like. That's what the Earth looks like to her.
it's just a
Just like
frisbee.
rotating like this,
Yeah, exactly. The
Frisbee,
Big
frisbee throwing.
Bang was Allah just throwing a frisbee, and it's been going since. Yeah. So shout out to her. She's probably the craziest person I ever lived with. So I try to avoid stuff like that.
That's a red flag. Red flag material.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she was a stranger from Facebook. So really what I found with a roommate is just not a stranger from Facebook.
Have you tried looking into community spaces, like the communities that you enjoy? How's that going?
Like, for a roommate or just for in general?
For a roommate. Yeah.
Oh, for a roommate. Yeah,
I'm thinking about the question.
No, now when I look for a roommate, I just post on Instagram and I say, does anybody know anyone looking for a roommate?
You have to go to the Muslim community, man. Go back to Islam. Look for a good brother, or well, not sister, but a good brother, yeah, for sure.
My roommate right now is Muslim. She's
there you go.
She's an Egyptian girl. Yeah. So,
that's awesome.
Listen.
Yeah, so I did that. Oh, but you know what? She is also gay. So
how are you guys gonna do Ramadan together now?
I actually can't wait for Ramadan. I am so excited. This will be my first year trying to fast again in a really long time because I was having some health problems that kept me from fasting. But now I'm gonna try again. So we'll see.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah, you're right. It's like I'll either fast or I'll pay for someone's meals for the month. I will sell $500 to my mom. We'll make sure somebody gets fed. That's usually
right. So that sounds like it's a future accomplishment for you. Completing your first Ramadan. So
yeah.
On that topic,
first in a while. No. Trust
not in a while. Sorry.
I was 13 years old fasting Ramadan. Okay. It's just that when I turned like maybe 20, some stuff happened with my body and I had to stop.
Okay, point Dexter. Now, what I was trying to ask was sorry, I really wanted to use that word. I've never used it before. I was like, this is the right
word? Say that again.
I was like, all right, point Dexter.
Point Dexter?
You know that. Yeah. The one that has to be like very factually correct about everything. Like,
interesting. Nice one.
Like, sorry.
That's good.
British.
I don't think
what
called Point Dexter. I'll take it.
Anyway, yeah. We're all Point Dexters here, so it doesn't matter. But the question is, what is this? What, man? Can I ask the question?
I just realized, but it's completely unrelated, so I'll keep it to myself.
Okay, good. Anyway.
Keep it for the Q&A portion at the end.
Yeah.
There you go.
What is the stupidest mistake you have done?
The stupidest mistake I
Nice
have.
question. Nice question.
That's a good question. The stupidest mistake I have. When I was 22 or 21 or something, I was living in New York and I was working at a zoo there. That was the coolest I've ever been when I worked at the zoo. Everyone thought I was so cool and hot for working at a zoo.
That's awesome.
But anyway, I was
You mean
working.
all the animals thought you were cool and hot?
Yeah, all the animals. Exactly.
Which animal would you hang out with the most? Like,
Would I hang
this
out
is
with?
an important question. We have to know. This is
I think
categorizing you.
technically, I hung out with the snakes most because I worked in the
Oh my
education department, and we would use them for teaching
Mm.
classes and stuff to the kids. But so the biggest mistake was that one day I think I did something the night before. I went out, I partied or something, and so I tweeted that morning. I tweeted, I drank I was out so late last night, drank so much, I might still be drunk this morning. Hyperbole, mind you, hyperbole. I might still be drunk. If one of the kids looks at me funny, I'm going to throw them into the sea lion pool, which was a joke that my supervisor had come up with and would say all the time. She would say all the time, I'm going to throw these kids into the sea lion pool. Or she would sometimes say it to the kids. She was like, stop talking, I'll throw you in the sea lion pool. I didn't
Wow.
invent it, but I tweeted it. I tweeted that. I tweeted
You tweeted
it.
it.
Joke.
Uh-oh.
Still a mistake.
Yeah, so I had some kind of
No context.
that someone screenshotted it and sent it to the zoo. And I was called into HR and I was let go. I was fired.
You ruined it.
Yeah.
You ruined the beautiful gig at the zoo.
Well, it's okay because for me to stay there, they were going to have me switch to a Wednesday through Sunday schedule. And as a really fun, young, hot person, I can't work Saturday and Sunday. So I have to quit anyway, so it's okay.
Okay.
So
what's happening on Saturday and Sunday then? What are you doing on Saturday and Sunday? That's so precious.
Exactly.
So precious that you need those days.
I'm volunteering. I'm going out and I'm helping my community. I'm feeding the poor.
That's wholesome.
I'm bathing the lost. I'm teaching the children. So if I was working on Saturday and Sunday, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Great point.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's great.
My manager is texting me like, good job, good answer, good answer.
Good PR. Yeah. Well rehearsed. Man, see, he's prepared. He's media trained. It's Yale does wonders, you know. This is a great advertisement for Yale.
Can I actually say the thing that I realized earlier? Because I can't stop.
Yes, go for it. Yes,
yeah, of course.
You said Poindexter. Have you ever seen that old cartoon called Dexter's Laboratory?
Yeah, of course. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So I'm stupid, but I just realized that that's where the name Dexter is from Poindexter. I think. Am I wrong? I think so.
No, I think you're right.
I think it's a derivative.
He was a Poindexter, yeah.
Yeah, because Dexter is that person is always really smart and like sciencey. That's the stereotype of that character. And yeah, so it's based off the word Poindexter. And I just never realized that until just now.
We can cut this out.
Nice. Yeah.
Wait, you guys. It's an ESL, okay?
Sorry. I'm just being silly.
You know, ESL. You become generation ESL, okay?
I'm so happy that Ali said it instead of me, because then I can't be the dick all the time, you know?
I don't know if you guys, because did you grow up speaking English?
Yeah, bilingual.
Yeah, bilingual. Okay. For me, there were so many things that I just didn't realize that were like on the radio growing up. You know how in a car radio there's AM radio, FM radio, and satellite radio?
Yeah.
I thought that the SAT for satellite radio meant Saturday radio. I thought it was radio. And that was just because my parents never corrected me. I just stupid stuff like that. I don't know.
No, totally. I totally agree. I can't think of an example right now, but
or like on addresses, on envelopes, when you fill out your address, there's like address number 1 and and address 2 for like your apartment number or whatever. I thought everybody just had a second house in the address 2 line. I don't know.
Oh my God. And you went to Yale.
Okay.
I told you it was university.
Ali, ask the question. Yalla. You have a
Okay,
question.
next
I know you
question.
have one.
How do you prepare for Zoom college?
I only had to do Zoom college for a few months, but the way that I would prepare is that I wouldn't. Because when I did Zoom college, it was truly 2020.
Yeah.
And so the world was maybe ending. So all I did was roll out of bed and turn on my laptop and check in with everybody. And we would just go, hey, this sucks, right? And I'd be like, yeah, it does suck. And then that was class. So I wasn't preparing, to be honest.
Yeah, I can relate.
Yeah.
All of my classmates were just like, I bumped into a classmate like a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, "Yeah, we only saw you in what's it called, like the socials, the social gatherings, which there was like maybe only three in the whole year." I was
Hmm.
like, "Yeah, COVID, yeah,
Yeah.
like you really can't be asked to, because like this was 2021, 2022, and it was kind of hybrid at that point, and
Hmm.
you're just there's no point of really going to university. I don't even know why we're talking about why am I talking about myself. Anyway,
Well,
um,
Is that you
interesting.
can talk
Oh,
about
no.
yourself, bro. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
huh?
podcast, bro.
Your listeners want to know. I want to know.
I
I
don't know.
don't.
My brain just froze at one point and just like, please stop talking. And
Said
I was just
people
Uh,
like,
want to
okay,
know
yeah, let's go.
about you, Said. People tune
well,
into
that
this
happened.
podcast every week to just listen to you, and I want to know about your life and your experience in COVID. What was that
Yeah,
like for
you
you?
guys are the
Okay,
constant of this
chill.
podcast.
Okay, man, fine. I'll be vulnerable. I'll speak about myself. Yeah, basically, COVID ruined the university, my university experience, man.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
That
sense.
makes sense.
That makes sense. No, I mean, I just, for all of, I don't know, honestly, for all of 2020 and 2021, not to continue to be controversial on your podcast, but I was so high, to be honest. I was smoking so much weed, unfortunately, every single day that I barely remember. I barely remember 2020.
It was just a cloud of smoke.
It
Yeah.
was, and I was working. I had jobs, and I would log on, but it's whatever. So,
Yeah, that year was just too traumatic. Like, same thing, same experience for me as well. It was like
yeah,
working and studying, and at the same time, just like staying at home all the time because like you really didn't want to do anything at some point. Like you feel like you aged 5 years within this time span of 6 months,
yeah,
and it just takes out all the energy of you. Like, bro, at the age of 25, my knees already started hurting. I was like, fuck this. I don't want to walk anymore. Like I have
yeah,
back pain at 26. I'm like, okay, COVID, what have you done, man? It's like, what's going on?
yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty shitty.
It is. And it might, I mean, it could even be related to the, I don't know. I feel like I read a different article online every other day of someone being like, what they're not telling you is that COVID is actually related to this, and this thing that you're experiencing right now. And I have
Mm.
lost all ability to tell what's correct and what's not. So I just have to sort of accept all of it. So I'm just
Mm.
like, oh yeah, the reason my head hurts a little bit, the reason my toe is sore, the reason I have acid reflux, it's all COVID. Like, okay.
I think it's also what's crazy is like the amount of information now that's just like getting pummeled down our throats is like, oh, you must know about this article. Oh, you must know about this just because you did like one small random search on Google and you about what about like orthodontist or some shit, and then you're like getting a whole list of like different toothpaste and advertising and
Mhm,
toothbrushes and oh, your teeth must look like this.
mhm,
The amount
mhm.
of like information is like churned down our throat, social media and like different advertisements. It's just it
Yeah,
really makes you hard. It like makes it very challenging to actually just focus on what you want to do and what you want to focus on, what you actually enjoy. Because you feel
yeah,
like if you see something that comes up on social media or something that you constantly use, if it pops up in front of you constantly, you're like, oh, I actually might, maybe this is something I like because this keeps coming up in my For You page or some shit like that. So
yeah.
basically, our whole lives are being dictated by our For You pages at this point.
Damn.
Yeah, sorry,
The
conspiracy theory done. Let's go.
the algorithm
No, I
control.
mean, I completely agree. It was like my biggest intrusive thought right now is deleting everything and moving to my mom's village in Morocco and just like sort of,
Oh,
living there until I die. I can't stop thinking about it.
Have you been there before?
Yeah, I grew up going to Morocco every few years for 3 months at a time. I would go for the whole summer, and so we would spend like, like we would split our time between her village and my dad's family's home in Casa. And yeah, as a kid, I didn't appreciate it because as a kid, I had my Nintendo DS and I was on the internet. And I hated that we were in the middle of nowhere in the desert, in the mountains, and there was no Wi-Fi, and I was bored out of my mind. Now, I crave every day the sweet release of the middle of nowhere, where I could just turn my brain off and like have, be at peace amongst the date trees and the olive trees. But
So if you did move back to that village, what do you think you'd bring back with you from the US? Like what, like ideas and like things to entertain yourself, would you bring back to this village? What? It's like, you don't want to go back to the same routines that you are as a kid. It's like, oh, I'm back in
yeah,
the desert. I thought
it's
I'll enjoy this, but in reality, I'm not enjoying this. Like after a month, after like a year, just sitting in that village, you're gonna be like, yeah, I want to go back to the city now. Like logically.
there's no way to know. I think what I would bring with me ideologically, hopefully nothing. I think it would kill half of the people who live there. They didn't get
But you
like
could.
I was just they didn't. It's like because a lot of people don't understand this concept. Like it's a village. Like they didn't get running water into their homes made out of mud and clay until like 2001. Like it's a couple hundred like indigenous people who've been there for a really long
Mhm.
time. I think if I showed up and started talking, God, who knows what? I think if I said Selena Gomez, they'd be like, "Oh my God, my heart!" Like I like
It,
overwhelm
so,
them completely.
it sounds like a very ripe property to invest in. Tarek,
Yes,
you have to take your US dollars and then build real estate. You just have to
yes,
build real estate and become a real estate mogul in Morocco and then come back to the US being like back to middle class. But
yes.
anyway, uh, so that's how it works, You be
Yeah,
rich in your country and then you come to the US just like, yeah,
yeah.
barely.
We can gentrify the countryside of Morocco together.
Fantastic. Build
Sometimes
some build some schools, man, like become a politician. Then you become mayor. Just like that.
Oh my God, no, no schools, no schools. You have to keep the same American structure of lack of education in order to maintain no schools, only high-rise buildings and Trader Joe's. We're going to be putting Trader Joe's in the Sahara.
Trader
Tarek,
Moe's.
but you have to give
Yeah.
them schools. What are you talking about? You have to put it in the curriculum that everything is about you. You are the
Mm,
hero, the savior,
that's
you're
really good.
the
We'll have a
you're the
news.
leader.
It's going to be a newsletter. We don't need schools. I'll be sending out to
Ah,
every little
okay, okay.
home. Really easy. There's only like 50 of them.
Okay, fair, fair. Do they know how to read though? Like,
Yes, they do. They do know how to read. Actually, they do. They do have a single elementary school, basically.
okay.
Yeah, 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 where you learn how to read modern standard Arabic. My uncle was teaching it for a while, and I went for one summer and was so overwhelmed. I didn't know what was going on,
Mm.
but I went.
You know, me and Said actually went to the same middle school, high school, a long time ago, many decades ago, and sometimes I just think of the memories of me and Said being just little and just playing
Many decades
football,
ago.
just or playing
Where was
tag,
where was
just
that?
in Lebanon. Yeah,
In Lebanon. Okay. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
In the
but it
mountains
wasn't
of
many
Lebanon.
decades ago, Ali. Just wanted to correct that. We're not in our 40s sitting here on podcasts.
I'm reflecting, bro.
How old are you guys? How old are you?
26. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Thanks.
add 1 year.
you'll be 27 this year.
Yep, yep.
I'll be 28 this year.
Okay. When's your birthdays?
I'm in March, coming up.
You want the horoscopes now? Come on. I thought you were the one who is not against that shit.
I actually just want to get to know you so that I can celebrate your birth. Actually,
Thank you. March
You know,
27th.
for horoscopes,
August.
people have birthdays.
It's August 27th.
Oh my god, my brother is August 26th. So look, I would have never known that if I hadn't asked.
What
And
about
when
you,
in
Tarek?
March,
That's true.
when in
That's
March is it?
27th. 27th.
It
That's
makes life
coming up.
easier for you. Now
You're
you can.
27th?
We're
Yep.
both 27s,
Whoa,
I know, right?
that's
and
beautiful.
we're both 27 as well. So
Well,
Thank
no,
God.
that's
I
crazy.
think not 27 yet. He'll be 27.
Almost.
Yeah.
We'll make it. It's fine. He's 27. He's 27.
Okay. You should know that's your co-host. That's your co-host.
What about you, Tarek? When's your birthday?
My birthday is 7/11.
You're kidding me.
Nice. Yeah.
No.
You
Do you have a membership card?
free
You get like
7-Eleven on your birthday? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's the
I
best.
do. Wow. Yeah. Don't become a like weird megalomaniac actor comedian without a reason. Yeah. So from day one, I thought 7-Eleven, I'm special. I should be an actor. But yeah, I do get free
And-
slushies. They're delicious.
We never had 7-Elevens in Lebanon, you know? That's the thing.
No
Yeah.
7-Eleven in Morocco either.
I
Yeah.
know.
I actually don't know what's a 7-Eleven. Like I just know the name 7-Eleven, and I thought it's like a supermarket, no?
Yeah, it's like a corner store or supermarket. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You're being
So-
serious.
Yeah, I mean this is.
Have you never
I don't lie. I'm an honest person, you know. Like
Have you never been to a
what
7-Eleven?
what the hell? I've never been to the U.S.
They don't have it in the UK, huh?
No, they do. They have 7-Eleven in the UK. It's like one of the biggest chains in the world. 7-Eleven is in.
What 7-Eleven UK?
Maybe they
I-
call it 11-7 or something like that.
No, it's just called 7-Eleven.
No, it says no. What are you talking? Wait, what? 7-Eleven supermarket Tottenham Road? What? No.
I have been to 7-Eleven.
Tottenham Road.
I have been to 7-Eleven in London multiple times, I think.
Where?
Am I
Conquer
crazy?
the UK market second time out. Bro, there's none.
Are you
Computer,
serious?
do they have 7-Elevens in the UK? In London?
From answers.com,
Wait.
there is no such geographic area code in the UK.
Geographic.
That's so crazy. I guess I invented this memory of going to 7-Eleven in London. Okay, my defense, I've been to 7-Eleven in a lot of countries all over the world. Okay?
Did we just
So
have a Mandela effect on the podcast?
Whoa.
Nelson
we're
Mandela
like-
effect.
I guess there's some other kind of convenience store in London. What's the big convenience?
Poundland.
We have no, it's not Poundland, bro. We have like Tesco and Sainsbury's, but I think Tesco and Sainsbury's would be like 7-Eleven, and
Yeah.
then Walmart would be more like Aldi. Sorry,
Yes.
fixing the tone. Yeah, Aldi.
I went to Tesco. That's what it was. I think.
See what? Come on, man. Don't insult us like that. What is this?
Okay, no. 7-Eleven is incredible.
You can't compare.
7-Eleven is the best things that has ever happened to the world.
How come? What's so amazing about 7-Eleven? What do you guys have in there?
Well, it depends on what country you're in because it's different depending on the country.
Well, we're comparing US to the UK, so like that's where we start, you know?
Oh,
We
okay.
start with that.
Slushies.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have those in Tesco.
Yeah, you don't have
That's
a
it?
7-Eleven Slurpee.
Wait, that's it? That's your only like advantage over us? A slushie? Bro, I can go to the corner store that's literally made right in front of the Tesco that has a slushie. What
say
are
that-
you talking about?
Only advantage because the ready to eat foods in Tesco are actually really good. They're better than the
There
American
you go.
ones.
You're getting food, man. Not
The
just pure
Japanese-
sugar cane, I don't know, bullshit.
Japanese 7-Eleven is better than Tesco because the food there is way better inside. And soon all the 7-Elevens I think around the world are going to be transitioning to being like the Japanese 7-Elevens. So soon they actually will be better in the US than the UK stores. So, but not
So
right
you guys
now.
are gonna have a sushi conveyor belt?
I wish. I think that would kill you. Sushi from 7-Eleven.
Wait, you guys don't have that? Like you don't like the Japanese 7-Eleven doesn't have that, bro. In Lebanon we had that in Monoprix or some Devon or like one of those. There was like one mall that literally had a sushi conveyor belt. I
Oh, in
remember.
a mall, sure, but in a convenience store,
All
you're
right,
gonna eat
we're still
that.
talking
You're gonna
convenience stores. My
eat
bad, my bad. I jumped up from 11.
I
I
was like,
skipped a level.
"Hey,
Sorry.
you want to eat the convenience store conveyor belt sushi? I would love to see it.
That's how Saeed dies.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
creative way
bro,
to.
if you give me good quality sushi, holy, I wouldn't get out of there.
Yeah. Wow.
I miss the simpler times. That's all I was trying to say.
I miss the
Uh,
simpler times. That's an awesome soundbite.
No, it's true. We were kids and we had nothing. We didn't have phones. We didn't have internet. We didn't have freaking TikTokers or YouTubers or freaking,
Yeah.
freaking celebrity fights or just stuff like that. It was just literally just me and
what was
my
your
own
favorite activity,
imagination.
Ali?
Bro, we used to freaking play, tag.
Mm. Did
And
you ever
then we
play
run.
Snake on a Nokia?
I have played Snake on a Nokia.
Of
Snake on
course, yeah.
and in a plane. I played Snake on a Nokia on a plane. That was awesome.
Ali
Like,
used to really like playing football as well. I remember.
Football.
Oh yeah, the good
wow.
days.
Not the NFL stuff, but the
No,
true,
you mean like soccer?
the true Euro
Oh
football.
yeah, sorry, we're talking to American audience. Yeah, soccer.
Can you be imagining Ali in his big football gear, just like sprinting down the field, knocking guys over?
I know
Oh, we
that's
used
so
to have a friend like
violent.
that, but without the gear. We see. We'll call him Achan.
Oh, bro, that's so funny. Yeah, those were the sweet, simple days, and we'd just go visit our friend's house, just play video games, hang out, watch movies, but no
Yeah.
phones. I feel like sometimes I just want to just completely unplug too. But I just love being plugged in too much.
Well, it's just hard to imagine like reality or the possibility of being alive without being plugged in, even though technically there are so many people who do it. It's just that like we're so brainwashed by it at this point. It's so frustrating. The
I
internet.
know.
I think it's living in the West that has that effect because like when I was back in Lebanon, I wasn't as plugged in and I
We
was
didn't have
enjoying life.
Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Exactly, bro. Which is good. We need to have a shitty government to not give us Wi-Fi so that we can unplug. That's that's it, bro. Like if you really want proper therapy, you go to Lebanon, you ignore the trauma that's happening in the political and like regional geographical situation, and you just live life unplugged. As long
Yeah.
as you can enjoy living with a few occasional bombings, it's fine.
Yeah.
Everything
And
else
if
is good, man.
and if you really, really need the internet, then you buy a USB that somehow connects you to the internet that you plug into your
Exactly.
laptop. And then you get to go on the internet. And the USB has a very short battery life.
Very short battery life, poor signal reception. Like it has like this small antenna that you have to constantly fiddle with. It's like, ooh, that's the best,
That's so funny. That is so like 2008 in the Middle East core, getting Wi-Fi from the US.
Oh man, I think my dad stayed using those until like 2 years ago.
Probably, I mean, it's so good. And like all things considered, it's very cool technology, and I wish that I understood how it worked. Probably like any like just purely American or like Western audience is probably just gonna be like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, we have hotspot now, so we don't need that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like you can use everything's on your phone. It's just
Ugh,
so easy.
I don't even
Maybe
have.
is it a bad thing that everything is in one place though? Is it necessarily a bad thing? Like maybe we're not actually addicted to our phones, we're just highly reliant on it, which is two different things.
Yeah, I mean, there's like so much science about the like the that we get like dopamine and serotonin just like too quickly now, and we have like no sense of self-control and are just constantly overwhelmed with access to stimuli. Like I feel like I know too many people. I think it's unnatural the amount of people that I know and could speak to at any moment. I wasn't meant to
Mm,
be like that, you know?
yeah.
I was like biologically, it's not what Allah intended. Allah did not want me to be able to go on a phone and look at Instagram and learn all these things.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I think this is where it comes, like, you know, the categorization we were discussing in the beginning of the podcast. Like, that's what you can do on Instagram and these apps. Here, you just have to kind of switch off into a robot mode and be like, okay, this person is an acquaintance. I don't have to message them at all, unless like once in a blue moon. And then this person is a friend. Like, you'll constantly be sending messages. You'll chat every now and then. Then this is your like top close friends list. Well, they call it close friends list, which is pretty cool. But in real life, those would be your close friends, because these are the people that you spam with memes. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you can't be with them at the moment, but you can spam them with like a meme about you slaying a dragon with them, which is kind of like what you want to do. You know, you want to send a meme to your friend at 3 a.m. saying, "It's like, bro, we have to invest in crypto right now. Come on, Dogecoin, let's go. Trump coin, that's the one."
I'm good on
The
that.
person that you're sending that meme
You can
to,
have mine.
that's your like, you know, that's the guy that you ride and die with. You don't have to be in a physical place with them. So it's fine.
No, it's true. I can't even I like I have, I guess, enough followers now on Instagram, even though it's not a lot, to where like if I post something that I actually only want the people I know in real life to see, and then strangers start seeing it, I start getting insane messages. I'm losing followers. I feel like at some point I'm going to start getting death threats. So now I only really post on my close friends story. It's just, it's so, I don't know. The internet is, we need to throw the whole thing in the garbage. Did you know that it works through like cables that are under the sea?
The internet?
No,
I thought it went to space.
as in like under SpongeBob under the sea.
You guys know about this? You know about the you know about the undersea cables?
Fiber optics.
No, literally, guys. The internet works by giant cables that quite literally are under the sea, and they span the whole ocean. And that's how you communicate with servers in like another country or another continent. It's not through what I thought, that the internet maybe just worked through like satellites or something. I thought, you know, I send my signal up into space and then it bounces back down and somebody else gets the signal. No, it goes through cables under the ocean, physical cables, and sharks keep attacking them. But it's like now the possible future of like new styles of warfare is going to be like, you can take out a certain amount of cables and then nobody can talk to Australia. Australia's gone. Like, I'm so serious. If you Google undersea cables,
what are you waffling about? What?
No, guys, I know I sound crazy.
No, according, I used to hear this when I was back in middle school, and I didn't know if that was, I could believe that at all. What is this? Is this U.S. education teaching you the shit? What's going on? Are you saying that me disconnecting from like North American servers is because the sharks bit on a cable right in Miami Beach or some shit like that? What's going on?
Yes. Like, I live with undersea cables internet. Like,
Bro, he's turning into our Jamie. What?
You're hired.
They're called submarine cables, and they are the foundation of the internet. They carry most of the world's data. They're made of fiber optic cables, and they run along the ocean floor for hundreds of miles.
Please share screen. Share screen.
Leave that on you?
Of course, we'll give you permission. Yeah, share screen.
Okay, I will literally share screen. Look. I'm so serious, you guys. Like, this is how the
most of the world's fiber. Wow.
Like,
and it's all coming from the US?
No, this is just how we communicate to other countries, because computers are just servers that are getting in touch with each other, but we don't have the technology to make them get in touch via like space or via satellites. It all has to be manual physical connection. So there are literally cables that go across the entire ocean floor. They look like this. It's crazy.
We learned something today.
We have. He's convinced me.
Yeah, and Allah did not want this. Like, like
Problem
he
is,
did,
like,
like this is crazy, you guys. Are you seeing this? I don't know if the share screen actually works.
No,
yeah,
we
no,
see
no, we can
this
see this. We can see this.
in detail.
Yeah,
Wow.
like you thought I was crazy.
Yeah,
For 1
for a
second.
second.
And then you pulled up the proof.
Like, and then here, now watch this. Now watch this. Here's the last thing I'll Google. So now I put undersea cables, sharks.
And now
Fail.
they're eating the cables.
because sharks are attracted to magnetic like waves, and there's like obviously like weird magnetisms. Okay, some of these are like weird memes, but like this is like sharks are literally trying to bite the undersea internet cables. Like,
Oh, this goddamn shark. He's the reason why I keep disconnecting from my games. Whenever I'm
yes,
playing like a match of League, bro, and I DC, it's because of him.
yeah, the shark wants you to
What the
lose
hell?
your campaign. Like,
Anyway,
how did we start
Ali,
talking about that?
Next
I don't
question.
know, but Ali brings up these weird topics. Like, I know he's gonna ask us now some crazy ass question, which I don't know where it's gonna take us, and it's gonna transport
The
us to another
topic
world.
was Nepo babies. Are you pro them? Are you against them?
Okay. I love this. I'm fine with Nepo babies because it's not the Nepo baby's fault. It's the
Define
industry's.
them. First of all, define them for people that don't understand what they are.
Okay, a Nepo baby is different from an industry baby. An industry baby is just somebody whose parent maybe like works in the industry. Maybe they work in production or they're a writer or something. And so they're not powerful enough to just get you a job by the use of their name, but you grew up with experience in the industry because they were doing it, and you just have you have a foot forward basically. A Nepo baby is somebody whose parents' name is powerful enough to, I feel like, get them into doors.
Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus, or even smaller ones. Like there are people whose parents are really big showrunners that like the average household wouldn't know, but I would still consider them a Nepo baby because that showrunner parent can totally get them a job. All that being said, I'm fine with it because it's like, yeah, if my parent was rich and successful, I would not want to spend my life working in an office. I would also want to be an artist. So like, how could I fault them for wanting to pursue the arts? I think that's awesome. I think it's the issue with the industry is that they don't make enough opportunities for people who aren't that. That being said, I am actually going to have, I think, a party called like a Nepo baby reveal party because so here's me manifesting. Inshallah, I will one day,
Inshallah.
I will be really successful and well known and a very famous actor and comedian.
Okay.
Inshallah.
And when I am, people are going to find out that my father actually is a like shitty indie filmmaker. He's my dad made a movie. He put my family like $180,000 in debt to make a movie in the early 2000s because my parents immigrated from Morocco and had no money and were working at a deli. But him being the man of the family, he was like, if I have a dream, I get to pursue it. And for some reason, his dream was making shitty like mob movies based off The Sopranos. So he fully made a movie. And eventually I think people are going to find out that he did this and they're going to find the movie and they're going to think that I'm a Nepo baby because my dad has a movie. Even though it failed, it didn't do anything. He funded it using the country of Morocco's money because he filmed some of it in Morocco. Like it's unreal.
That's a genius play, you know?
Yeah, I mean, people do it. If you film a movie in a lot of, I don't know if this is a PC phrase anymore, but third world country, whatever, like their governments will pay you oftentimes to film your movie there because it's like basically like tourism and publicity. So he worked with the government of Morocco to get a bunch of money. And then he also took out loans and then he filmed this movie and it's terrible. It is a horrible, horrible movie. He wrote it, starred in it, and directed it. Me at age 12, I'm editing the script because my dad like I'm in Final Draft Pro editing his script at the age of 12. Yeah, and it's an amazing piece of lore. But anyway, I'm gonna have a party that's gonna be like Nepo baby reveal party where I like stream the movie for my friends, and because people don't know this, I don't. This is actually my first time ever talking about this publicly.
Wow.
Jose, whoa.
Because people don't understand. It's if you live in Los Angeles and you mention that like your parent made a movie, immediately people assume your parent is Martin Scorsese or something. Like people don't have they don't even comprehend the concept that like an immigrant father could put his family in $180,000 in debt to make a shitty movie because he wanted to. Like that's not even on their radar.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I'm pro Nepo baby. As a Nepo baby myself, I completely support it. I think they should be allowed to do whatever they want.
So is the debt still there, like, or has it been handled?
He ultimately, I think the film did terribly in the US, and I think it did okay in like parts of Europe and in Morocco. I think it maybe did okay enough to break almost even.
Damn.
So
that's success.
That's good.
Yeah. So we had the debt
Great
for
success.
a really long time. We had debt for a really long time, and that debt helped me get financial aid in college.
Great success.
Yeah, big
Very
success.
nice.
Big success. And then I think they've paid it off. Yeah, I don't know. People, it's crazy what a Muslim father can do with a little bit of determination.
A lot.
Yeah.
It gave you the skills, man. Like now you've been at age 12, you're already a screenwriter and everything.
Yeah. I'm a script
Script.
supervisor. It's a credit of mine.
It's like plaster it on your CV, bro.
That was a great question, guys. Great question.
Amazing job, Adi. What's next?
Taught English speaking confidence and self-confidence to Japanese students.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How do you do that? What?
That's a statement.
Did you go on my LinkedIn? Did you go on my LinkedIn?
We have an assistant.
That's pretty awesome. I lived in Japan in 2018. I lived in Japan in 2018 for the summer, and I worked for a company where I was teaching. I was working with middle and high school students on their English speaking skills through the discussion of like life coaching and world topics. Basically, being like, "Oh, your parent is a doctor. Well, you don't have to be a doctor if you don't want to," which was very, very shameful. And I don't think the parents knew what we were talking about in this. Yeah, so it was pretty awesome. I lived in Osaka. I wasn't in Tokyo for very long, only a week, and then I spent most of my time in more of the south of Japan. It was cool. It was really cool. It was weird. Japan is a weird place.
What makes it weird?
It is simultaneously really progressive and also very, very conservative. It's really, really weird because
that's interesting.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. The technology is amazing. Like they're at the forefront of all of these innovations, and then at the same time, like I was walking around with like an afro that summer, and the amount of stares that I got were insane. At one point, my host mother asked me where I got my perm, and when I told her that I had never had a perm, she asked if she could genuinely touch my hair because she was so amazed. And I said, well, yes, because I was living in her home. Like, just grab a fistful. Also, I got a cold sore while I was there. Shout out to Middle Eastern, North African families. Everybody has herpes. I got a cold sore on my mouth, and I tried to find a cream for it. I had to go to 6 different pharmacies because the first 5, when I tried to communicate to them what it was, actually yelled at me and were like, "Get out here. We don't do that here." That's because basically they like associated it with like being a whore. basically. Like they were like, is what they were saying, and they're very conservative around stuff like sex. So they were like, we don't do that here. We don't do that here. Whole time I'm like, I just need a little thing for my mouth. I don't know what I've never had. Like it was really disorienting. They have a really big syphilis problem in Japan right now.
Is that true?
Yes, because they don't talk about sex and they don't talk about like STI prevention and safe sex. And so like the syphilis issue is so bad that they teamed up with Sailor Moon. And like Sailor Moon is now the voice of like STI prevention in Japan to try to get people to learn about how to be safe. I'm so serious. Like,
wow. Public disclosure.
Yeah.
If you're in Japan and you have sore nuts, or if you see any weird lesions or bleeding in your genitalia area, seek a doctor. You might have syphilis.
Yeah, you might.
And also practice safe sex, you know. That's also an idea.
Wear a condom.
Yeah. Where the condoms, they were they were handing out condoms with Sailor Moon on them. like I'm so serious. It was really a weird place.
That is weird.
Yeah. And you think of it as like being at the forefront of culture and like society. And I think that like gay marriage is still like really like I don't know, the whole being gay thing was really not going over well there. It was really interesting. At the same time, I loved it, and the food was amazing, and the people were really kind for the most part, and it, changed my life in many ways. So, what can you do?
Great question.
Yeah.
I'm scared. What are you going to bring up?
What's
it? Do you want
to? Oh yeah, of course. No, I think my question would be a bit obvious. So, what's it like doing solo theater versus doing theater with a team, with a group?
Oh yeah, because I do. Yeah, so I do solo shows for any listener wondering what the heck he's talking about. And I think it's like when you do theater with ensemble, generally you try to bring your A game every time. But at the end of the day, there's usually a fourth wall up to where you need to just live in the world of your show and hope that the audience meets you there, and the audience like connects with you and engages with you energetically and with their attention in the most like conducive and fulfilling way. And if they're not, if you just have an off day where the audience is a little weird, there's not really anything you can do about it. You have a script. You have to stick to your script. With a solo show, it's just me, and I'm usually speaking directly to the audience. I can do whatever I want. If somebody's being weird, if the energy is off, if something's strange, I can recalibrate. The performance is super different depending on whether I'm performing to 100 people in like on a stage, or like 40 people in a black box. And so like you can make those adjustments in real time. And so it has a little bit of like stand-up comedy sort of vibe in that way of just like, audience engagement and interaction, which I really appreciate. Because I don't know, it's like when you're standing in front of so many people, to just pretend that they're not there is really funny to me. It's like, we all know but that's sort of the whole point of theater, I guess. Yeah,
that's tough. Like, I mean, it is tough to like do a whole show just from one person. Like like when we were watching a one-man show, it seems like a crazy person just acting. It's like doing everything all at the same time and switching between roles. It kind of, now that I speak about it, it reminds me of like Robin Williams when he used to perform. He used to like do characters as well, and then just like do a full conversation between two people while it's just him speaking both people as both individuals. So
was the solo?
There just has to be like a complete unlock of like the creative mind in that process.
The one-man show you saw, was it good? And be honest, did you like it? Be honest.
I think work needs to be done. Yeah. That's the safest.
Yeah. Most of them are
Sorry.
bad. At the end of the day, most solo shows, most one-man shows, one-woman show, one-person show,
Mm.
most are bad. It's just like it's because it's a crazy person standing up there being like, I need you guys to look at me and I need you to listen to me. And I was not loved as a child. And so now you need to love me right now. And that is not inherently a recipe for success. That's just a recipe for, again, megalomania. So yeah, the stereotype that one man shows are like insufferable and bad, it's not so off. I mean, I do great solo shows, so I would
Ah.
never be responsible for that. But
So
I could
so so
never.
wait, so wait,
Yeah.
did you just like call yourself a megalomaniac? Is
Yeah, a little bit. You think? I
needed to
mean,
confirm.
while being a performer, I feel that like all performers have a little bit of like an attention deficit that they are trying to fulfill, and the power that they are trying to seek. You know, I mean,
Where does that come from? Like, from your opinion?
yeah, I think it's not being loved as a kid, I think, and just coming out
Mhm.
weird. Um, I don't know.
It sounds like a very common thing within the Arab regions, like I feel like me and Ali might be able to relate to it.
And that's why Arabs are so funny, because you weren't loved as a kid. And so you really had to work for it, and it makes you a
Yeah,
really good entertainer. I mean, yeah,
and great businessman as well.
a great businessman, exactly. I mean, my parents, for all that's wrong with them, are really funny people. Like they are like the things that they say, oh my god, so funny. So funny. Yeah.
Great question.
Fantastic. Ali, how do you think we should continue?
Oh,
What
well,
is
we
the
should
next
ask
one?
about the SNL scholarship, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So I am at the Groundlings right now in Los Angeles, which is improv and sketch comedy theater. Historic. They're having their 50th anniversary this year, I believe, at the same time as SNL is having their 50th anniversary.
Wow.
So they were started around the same time by similar people. And yeah, so they have a diversity program at the school. Again, DEI, affirmative action, where SNL has given them, a stream of money or something like that, in order to help support the brightest future in diverse comedic voices. And with my little application, they decided that I was one of them. And so basically what it means is that like I've been doing my classes there for free, which is really nice. Because they're very expensive. And I got to submit a tape to SNL through the school as a part of the audition, as an SNL scholar, which was really cool. It was my first time auditioning. Did not go anywhere because, peek behind the curtain, most people audition like so many times for SNL before they get onto that stage. And even like and like there's many steps. Like a lot of people will not get anywhere from a self-tape submission. It's just not the nature of things anymore. It's most because the self-tape is meant to get you to the live audition.
Yeah.
But the live audition is primarily composed of people who are invited just from industry connections or through their presentation or because they're known, they have a big footprint, etc. It's like at this point, with how diluted everything is, it's really hard to get anywhere from a self-tape, even if it's coming as an SNL scholar from a school. So mostly in my experience, it is a really awesome piece on my resume, and I get to do all of these programs for free, which I love. I really love improv and sketch comedy. I think it's so fun, and I think it's honestly one of the things I'm best at. I'm probably better at it than like acting, straight up, just because I really grew up idolizing and not idolize because we don't take false idols. That is haram.
That is haram. Now we're counting.
Yeah, but I really was passionate about people like Jim Carrey and Maya Rudolph, And those were people who were at the Groundlings, who were at SNL, who
Mhm.
are just like cartoons, you know? And my face, I think, like literally developed like that. Like I use all the muscles in my face more than like anybody that I know, to be honest. And I don't do it on purpose. Like I'm not doing this purposefully. It's just like I can't keep this thing still, which is honestly really bad for film and TV acting. It's terrible.
Mhm.
Like they're like, stop doing that. Can you please just blank? Which is something I'm working on. But for sketch comedy and for improv, it's great. You look like a cartoon. That's what I get all the time is your face moves like a cartoon. And I love that. So I'm just trying to make that work.
Great
But
question.
yeah.
I like cartoons. I'm not gonna lie.
What's your favorite cartoon?
Maybe Tom and Jerry. Maybe Scooby Doo. Yeah, Scooby Doo. I would say Scooby Doo. Where are you? Signs. Oh my God, Saeed! There's a monster on the podcast.
Astaghfirullah, a monster. Astaghfirullah. Saeed, what's your favorite cartoon?
My favorite cartoon was Foster's Home for Imaginary Kids. That one was a good one.
That is
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good.
I like the niche ones. Those were
Foster
fantastic.
Home for Imaginary Friends. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
You're still living an imaginary life. I'm an imaginary person. I'm not real. I'm part of your imagination.
Ali, why would you do that to me? Like, why would you just destroy my reality just like that? Why? Am I just talking to Tarek by myself right now? Am I imagining Ali
Yes,
then?
I'm a side character in your imagination. I'm the cute one, the funny one. I'll
Yeah,
keep you happy, Saeed. You're not insane. You're just an imaginative, creative person.
Of course,
Wow.
I am not insane. I am completely normal.
Imagine if you had a podcast and you thought that you had a co-host and it was just something in your head and you were doing a separate voice the entire time. You created Ali. That's crazy.
Great question.
Anyway, Ali,
Wow.
any final questions before we end this podcast?
Yeah.
Wait, you can ask me what my favorite cartoon is?
What's your favorite cartoon?
Oh yeah,
is? Yeah.
Ali, you were supposed to ask that question.
No, please tell us.
Yeah, because I only ask questions to be asked them in return.
Okay? No, that's how we
learn.
That's very fair.
Yeah. I'm like, do I have a favorite cartoon? Yes. Oh my God.
He's wasting our time now. God damn it.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. Courage the Cowardly Dog.
That one was
scary.
It was so good. So beautiful. There were so many episodes that were so beautiful.
That's like me. I go to Saeed all the time when I'm scared. I'm like, Saeed, there's something scary. And then Saeed just like, oh, you stupid dog. You stupid dog.
The things I do for love.
I mean, he expects me to do something about it, but I'm like 10,000 kilometers away from him. So.
Saeed, there's a monster on the podcast. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, we gotta find a way to kick him off, man. Or he's gonna destroy us. I know, Ali, I know the perfect way to do that. The best way is we should ask how can people. First of all, it's been great having you on the podcast, and like thank you for coming on, and like it's been a great time with you. Can you tell people how they can connect with you and find out about your material?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me on the podcast. It was so fun. It was great to get to chat with you guys. How they can find me, you can follow me on Instagram at Tarek A Ziad. The A is my middle name, Ahmed. You know how it goes. But yeah, Tarek A Ziad. Follow me on Instagram. See what's up. If you hate it, that's okay. I understand. Still follow and leave me hate comments. They're really good for you. Really good for you. But yeah, that's it. Instagram.
That's it. Okay.
The Devil's App.
Do you have any questions for us as we wrap up this podcast?
Yeah. So did you guys meet in middle school?
Great question.
Fantastic question. Yes, I agree.
And then you decided. When did you decide to do a podcast together? When did you know you wanted to do a podcast?
Pretty much COVID. This was the COVID baby.
Ali recruited me. He's like, Saeed is just so great. I need to work with him. I need to do a podcast with him. And COVID was the time to do it. So He's like, Saeed, hop on. I was like, yep, I'll do it.
And I'm just a part of your imagination, Saeed. Not even
I
real.
know. I mean,
Not
you're
even
also
real.
imaginary, Ali. So at this point, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
Sweet.
Everything is
And,
imaginary.
and what did you study at university?
Great question. I did film and psychology. Pretty
Hmm.
much. That's what I did at uni, Boston University, many years ago.
Is that your degree behind you?
That's my master's in psychology.
Okay, cool. Said?
Yeah.
We're
For me, I did
educated.
politics, international law, human rights, that kind of stuff.
We're
Do you
quite
guys
educated.
do you use those degrees now? Do you have day jobs or jobs that are related
I
to those?
do. I do. I do.
I don't. I don't. I apply it on human beings, yes.
Yeah. Of course.
Daily life.
I have one question for the both of y'all. Have you ever been in a fist fight?
There's a car
Yes.
making a noise. I'm sorry if you
Actually,
hear it.
yes.
You're good. Oh, so tell us about your fist fight story.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
You
Why did I put myself in that?
I've been in a lot of fights.
This was back in high school. No, actually, I think it was the last year of middle school, and it was with a person who is now a friend, but at the time, yeah, we weren't friends. And then we just said like, yeah, well, let's meet up during the break, and like we're gonna have a fist fight. I was like, okay, cool. Then, bro, it was like literally like child's play. It was like, so there's this one guy in the middle, and he just like put his arm, and then he did this, he like as if to cut the ribbon, and then we went for it. But the thing is, when he was doing this and he cut the ribbon, I was taking off my glasses, and then as I'm taking off my glasses to hand it to someone, I feel a punch just whack me from the right of the side of my head. I was like, what the fuck is going on, bro? The funny thing is, like, I barely felt anything the whole time, but I was like, what is happening, man? I wasn't prepared, so
Oh, whoa! You got sucker punched.
I got sucker punched.
Dang!
But shit
Wow.
happens, you know. At
Yeah.
least At least I learned an important thing, which is that I have a thick skull, like Logan Paul.
That's awesome.
You just have to look at you to know that, Saeed.
No.
Wow.
You have a really soft head.
Whoa.
Really soft head.
Wow, Ali. Ali, you look like you have a squishy head, you know? Like you could be broken with like 2 finger squeezes. That's it.
Like a
It's like, oh,
blueberry.
exactly.
That's so funny. I was in a lot of fights in elementary school and some in middle school. I went to some pretty bad public schools.
Yeah.
And I was a bad kid, so I got into a lot of fights.
Any fight?
Did you win
anything
them?
stand out?
Did you lose them?
Did you win?
What's your boxing record?
Pretty well, because my dad before he decided to be an indie filmmaker, he was also doing amateur boxing. So my dad was a boxer, so I knew how to fight. I did pretty well. I don't think I ever lost a fight. I was sucker punched once with a kid came up to me in elementary school, maybe 4th grade, when we were waiting in line for the cafeteria, and he slammed a water bottle into my stomach really hard. Oof. It really hurt. I like doubled over, was crying. I told a teacher, she didn't do anything because that was the nature of the school. And so the next morning at breakfast, we had a proper fight, and I didn't throw him inside of the trash can, but I threw him like into the trash cans. And I'm not glorifying violence. Violence is bad. I was in a really bad setting. I was not the best person.
That's bullying right there.
Well, he did it first to me. So then you should an eye for an eye. That's in the crowd.
I don't like that
one. Yeah. So that was a rather notable fight. Oh, and then this is a pretty good one, and it's not good. I was a really bad kid. There was a guy in 5th grade who didn't like me because I was like a little effeminate, and so he's like, oh, he's gay, da 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 da. And it also was sort of known that he had a big crush on this girl named Stephanie. His name was Chris, and he had a crush on this girl named Stephanie, but he hadn't done anything about it, but everybody knew about it. So me being a terrorist, I wrote a fake love letter to Stephanie pretending to be him. And I signed it as from Chris, and I delivered it to Stephanie somehow. I don't remember, but she
That's
got
creative.
it. Yeah, and it was, I mean, I embarrassed the fuck out of him. And so then, as was sort of the natural progression of things, at the end of one of the school days, I saw him sort of walking towards me with a bunch of people behind him. And I was like, okay, cool. I guess we're going to have a fight right now. And so then we fought, and one of the teachers actually had to break it up, and she ended up having her like shirt ripped by somebody. And I don't really fully remember, but apparently in the middle of the fight, at some point, I said the phrase, and you have to remember, like, how old are you in 5th grade? You're like 11 or something,
yeah.
12?
Yeah.
Like
10. Yeah.
Apparently at one point in the fight, I said the phrase, "Give me your fucking face." And in the middle of hitting. I was, I grew up in Central Florida in a really not great neighborhood. And I don't condone violence anymore. I'm reformed. That being said, I was at a rough moment, but I won the fight, and he was homophobic, so he was in the wrong.
Okay.
Beautiful story.
Right, so he's wrong because he's homophobic. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
He deserved to be bullied.
Well, he was, back in my day, if somebody bullied you, you just bullied them right back. Now what? You tell a teacher, this is bad.
Okay. Fight fire with fire. No, this is great advice for all children around the world.
No.
Thank
Guys,
God, our demographics do not include anyone below the age of 18. So that's fantastic.
You don't
So
know
anyone
that
who's
side.
watching this, you already know that you should not fight someone. You should not bully someone.
Yeah.
And if you are a kid, don't bully people.
But also,
okay, I checked the analytics today, Ali. We don't have anyone below the age of millennial.
Bro, if someone's being homophobic or racist or Islamophobic or xenophobic, and they're just like way too confident about it, sort of take an assessment of the situation and try to figure out what exactly the repercussions would be if you punch them in the face. That's what I have to say. Now, don't go to jail.
Are you saying people should try it out just to see the repercussions?
No, I'm saying assess the repercussions, make sure that you won't go to jail, you won't whatever. But I mean, I kind of believe in like punching Nazis. I'm like, if you're a Nazi, you should be punched. Like, I mean, I don't think we can restorative justice circle the Nazi. Like, what?
You'll find a good portion of them in East Germany if you want.
Yeah, and I don't feel I lived in Germany too, and that was fine. But yeah, like at this point, if someone's being homophobic, racist, whatever, in Trump's America,
you gotta just take things into your own hands.
I don't know. Maybe you didn't hear it from me.
Vigilantism. Let's do it, guys. This has been a very educational podcast.
I'm sorry.
I learned a lot. We might have to delete the podcast.
If you deleted the entire episode, I would understand. Honored to have gotten to chat with you both and to have made sense. I would say I spent my hour and a half really, really well because I made 2 new wonderful friends, and I don't need to be in a podcast episode. And so if you needed to delete it because everything I said was insane, I would say I totally get it.
I think we can keep the internet cables part. Maybe that'll be good.
Okay, honest, have I been the craziest, like, most unhinged, or have you had crazier?
No, like we've had some crazy ones, but like this is a crazy that we worked with, like that's what I would say.
I introduced sort of a new kind of crazy today.
Yeah. I think at some points my brain was like telling me, it's like, well, what are you doing? Like, what's happening here? And then I had to like reactivate it and come back. But yeah, but no, it should be fine. Ali, you wanna roll the outro?
Yeah, we've learned a lot on today's podcast episode. This has been very educational. and I loved it.
Huh.
Signing out.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming on to A to the show, guys. We salute the cover of the camera. Tara, you can join us. And peace.
Ciao.